As I say, I'm really proud of our team. Congratulations to the Chiefs. They made a couple more plays than we did. I'll answer any questions I can. All right.
Vic.
Hey, John, what did you see in that last play, touchdown to Kelsey, as far as the coverage and then the breakdown?
We didn't have a rush. We had a stunt, and they wanted to stunt up, and Mahomes bought some time, and he got us on a second reaction play, he and Kelsey. But it was a combination of him buying time and our stunt not getting home.
Hey, John, you guys have had a lot of penalties the last 2 weeks. That's something that your team hadn't done a lot of throughout the beginning of the season. How do you correct that moving forward?
Well, it helps if we practice. You know, guys show up the day of the game. It's hard to enforce these things, but it goes back on me. We've got to get these men out on the field and correct these problems. But I couldn't be more proud of our football team, and I wouldn't trade any of our players for anybody. The effort that they've given us is tremendous. We've got to eliminate the penalties, and that starts with me.
Coach, obviously it was a losing effort, but Carr had a very good night tonight. What didn't get his performance?
Well, you know, I mean, this is as good as you can play. I mean, he had 4 or 5 balls that were magnificent throws that we could have caught that we didn't make the play on. He played tremendous tonight. He played almost flawless.
Go ahead, Vinny.
John, you guys went through a lot this week again, but you take the Super Bowl champions down to the final seconds. Do you feel like you're closing some margins between yourself and the rest of the elite teams in the NFL?
I don't know. This is it's hard to swallow right now. I don't have anything to say about that. I don't know where we rank, but we're giving great effort. We've got to get some people back out on the field playing. Hopefully we can. We've got 6 or 7 more weeks guaranteed to us that we can hopefully take advantage of.
Okay, any more questions, guys?
Thanks, guys.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, Jerry up.
Jason, Jerry McDonald from the Barry News Group. Can you describe what kind of a roller coaster that was to play in?
Yeah, it was a back and forth game. You know, I mean, Coach Gruden talked about it during the week. We knew we were going to get the best shot. There was a lot of talk during the week. You know, after our win up there at their place, and they're the world champs. You know, they're really good. We knew it was going to be a fight. I thought offensively, we were able to move the ball early, came out with good energy, and were able to hit some things. I thought Carr was in control and command the entire game, and just came up short. And they're a really good football team. We knew we were going to get a great shot from them, and you got to tip your hat to them.
Hey, so I'm sure that's a pretty disappointed locker room right now. You as a veteran for a young team like this, how do you go about kind of reminding them to focus on what good happened out here tonight and how close you guys were to beating these guys again, rather than how that ended right there?
Yeah, I don't believe in moral victories. I really don't. I mean, I think this team, where it's at, it's the 3rd year of the program. We really feel like we can play with anybody. That's the type of team we expect to have. And at the same time, it is a young team, and you just remind them, hey, listen, 60 minutes with the world champs. They're a really good football team. The only loss they had coming in tonight was us, and we got a lot of respect for them. Great players, great coaching staff, and took them all the way down the wire. So again, these are the type of games you want to play in come into November and early into December. Got a lot of football ahead of us. Disappointing loss. We got to watch that tape with a critical eye and get better. And it's not, oh man, we were close. That's not the mentality in there. It's a disappointment, but it's a group that believes in each other. And as a veteran presence, that's the reminder. As this season unfolds, these are the games that you've earned to play in, and now you got to find ways to win them.
Jason, did it feel for a while that they're trying to keep your offense off the field, and did it feel like whoever the ball last was going to win?
Yeah, I felt that way in the second half. They were able to kind of eat some of that clock. I think they just kind of found a rhythm with their offense. It's really good. They got a lot of weapons. I thought our defense really fought the entire night, but we knew it was back and forth. I think you felt that early on, it was that way. And really, if you went back and watched our game early in the year, it was kind of back and forth there. So just, again, I thought offensively we were able to kind of get our passing game going. Derek was in great command, getting to the right looks, and guys were really capitalizing. So, yes, to answer your question, I really felt like it was going to be back and forth all the way down to the wire.
Hi, Jason. Levi Damien, USA Today. Can you just basically go through what your range of emotions, if you still have the strong emotions after you had the false start and then a few plays later you end up catching the touchdown pass? Yeah,
they shifted down there late, and it's a mistake on me. Just got antsy there, trying to make that block. They were going to run it in there, and they got me on the shift call. It's a disappointing play. I'm a veteran player. Can't make that mistake down in that situation. We're able to get it back, and it's a play Coach put in early in the week, and for him to call that play, that's what I'm here for. And those type of moments at this point in my career, it's for plays like that. So it was a great feeling, but ultimately, when you come up short, you just kind of that goes away, But I was excited to be able to make that play in that moment, and for the teammates and coaching staff to call my number in that situation. I think that's what I've done my whole career, take a lot of pride in critical moments, making the plays that make a difference in the game.
Last one, Willie.
Jason, nothing to do with the game, and apologize if you're not in the mood to answer this, but in your career, you've played in just almost every year you played on Thanksgiving. And considering the year that this league has had, and we're dealing with the pandemic, maybe just can you touch on what it means to play on Thanksgiving, what it's meant to you, and why it's so important this year as far as the NFL and the fans and sort of embracing this season?
Yeah, well, it's happy to answer that question. I think I got a lot of fond memories of playing on Thanksgiving. Every year of my career up until this year, it's happened, and it's a special moment, First off, as a kid, sitting around with my family, football family, I remember watching those games and so many great memories that my family had. And then to be able to play in those games, it's a special time. And certainly this year, I think with all our countries going on through, to be able to kind of bring some joy, some pride, some happiness to some families in the midst of this pandemic, it's a special time. There's nothing like playing on Thanksgiving Day, and a lot of great traditions that I'll keep with me for a long time, not just experiences on the field, but, my family and so many families across the country that have told me stories about playing on Thanksgiving. So I think it's great what the league does, and it's a special day to be able to play football in the NFL.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yep, I got it.
Oh, buddy. All right.
All right, guys, raise your hands. Go ahead, Jarrett.
Jared, can you kind of just describe your range of emotions in that game, the back and forth, how hard fought it was, and then I'm sure it's killing you right now.
Yeah, it was a good game. I'm sure everyone at home enjoyed watching it. Two good football teams going at it in the division, rivals. We scored late, obviously, 2-minute drive to take the lead, and then you're really excited. Obviously, they go down. They're a good offense too. They go down the field, they score. And then just the wave, the range of emotion. You try your best to stay even keel. You try your best not to get frustrated. But then, you got to go out there and try and get a chunk play, try to throw Nelly a jump ball. And it just, last situation kind of thing. But it sucks that it came down to something like that, man.
Derek, did it feel for a while there they were trying to keep your offense off the field? And what kind of rhythm were you guys in at that point?
Yeah, I felt, Vic, I felt like we've been in a good rhythm all year, especially today. I felt we were in a really good rhythm, I thought, the stats may not show it, but when we ran the ball, there were some efficient runs that got us into some second and manageables and, things like that, some third and shorts. And I know speaking for Josh, I wish he had 200 yards today again, but he does a great job of keeping us on schedule, pounding his head in there. So I felt like we were running efficiently. I felt like we were hitting some big plays again in the pass game. But just stinks, man. Just wasn't enough.
So despite the loss, your team still put up 31 points in the shootout. Despite the loss, are you still proud or content with the way that your offense played today?
I mean, yeah, Levi. I mean, this is the best offense I've ever been a part of. This group is awesome, and I know I say it every week, but we can win in different ways. We can smash them, with the run game, or we can do a shootout. We can do it that way, and we're proving that over time. And the exciting part is everyone's young. We've got a lot of young guys. I'm the old guy, I guess. In the group, but it's exciting because you see where we're headed. It's showing you little glimpses here. We're starting to get a little healthier. We're starting to get a little bit, we're on our way, and it's exciting, right? So to answer your question, I'm excited, but today it wasn't enough. It's so unfortunate. If there was anything I could do better, I'll watch the film and I'll try my best to do it next time. That's what I state of my process and try and do it better next time.
I'm sure that's a disappointing locker room over there right now, considering how it ended. But how do you make sure that it doesn't turn into carryover? That you move on from this quickly, as hard as it is, to move on to the next game and the games after that.
Yeah, who we got? We got Atlanta, right? If you can't get excited for Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, you can't get excited and get your mind right for that. This ain't the game for you. Those guys have a longer rest than us right now. So you got to put that little chip in your mind, a little on your shoulder. You got to get ready to go. And there's film to be watched. There's all those things, and it sounds repetitive, but if you just do your job, right? Do your job on game day. Do your job during the week, and things take care of themselves on game day. And so, for me, I have my process, Vinny. It's not going to change. It's shown me success in my career, and I've tweaked it to make it better, and I will always continue to try to make it better. But same thing with these guys. Mr. Mayock and Coach Gruden brought people in here that think the same way. If we win that game, awesome. I'm still going to do the same thing I do tonight. I'm still going to do the same thing I do tomorrow, and I just have a process. That it's a winning routine, as Coach Olson always told me my rookie year. Get a winning routine. And so I think that there's so much to be done with that if you're any kind of competitor, you wake up the next day and you say, okay, I got to get this done today on Monday. I think that's how I'm trying to explain it.
Last two, we'll do Vic, then Willie.
I mentioned the viewers at home. I think when you guys scored late, most of them probably thought there's too much time left on the clock. Does that thought go through your mind at that point? They left too much time for Mahomes?
I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, they're a great offense. I mean, he's one of the best, in our league. Their offense, the plays they got. I mean, it's awesome, and it, to me, it's not a thought because, we're just gonna do our job. I can't complain about when we score. I can't. Say, I wish we did this or did that. Now, there's certain situational things, like if it's a tie game and you're trying to move the clock, things like that. But we needed a touchdown to take the lead. A field goal wasn't going to do it for us. And so, obviously, you score and then you look at the clock. And I've done that, too, in the Superdome with Drew Brees. I've looked up and been like, oh, gosh. Anytime you got, these professional quarterbacks, man, hopefully me included, whenever you give us time, any kind of time with a little bit of a field, I mean, you feel excited to go win the game. That's what we live for. That's what you dream of. And so that's natural. But also, my trust was no, our defense will stop them. It's just in my team. That's where my trust is.
Last one, Willie.
John had said that you had 4 or 5 balls that were magnificent throws, should have been caught. I'll take you back to the Tampa Bay game real quick. I remember asking you certain miscues from the offensive line because of the COVID issue that week, and you said, I'll never lose it on my teammates. I'll try to motivate them, but even if they make a mistake. When you have balls that are dropped that should have been catches, how do you shake that frustration off? What do you say to your receivers? Today, obviously, some balls that should have been caught that might have helped in certain situations. Yeah,
that's a great question. I've missed a lot of passes in my life, and I try and react the same way I'd want them to react to me. If it's challenge them. If it's If it's, hey, pick them up, you know, you try and read their demeanor and all those things. That's why you have relationships with the guys, you know, and you understand what makes them click, what they like to hear in certain situations. You know, when drops happen, if it's a guy that's not trying to do everything right during the week, I'm going to get a little frustrated and probably use my dad voice, you know, so to speak. But all of our guys try and do everything right all week. They do their process. They try and catch extra balls. They're always asking me to work. So when it happens in a game, man, I can't get on them. You know, I can't get too mad at them. You know, now there's a time where I look at them, hey, let's go now. You know, hey, shake it off. I need you. You know, that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to sit there and rip a guy that does everything right. You know, that just doesn't make sense. And so if there's a guy that doesn't do everything right, then there's a chance to step in and say some words. But we got a group of guys that tries to do everything right. Things happen, man. I've missed plenty of balls, you know, in some crucial situations. So, you know, I try my best to react the same way.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all.
Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, Darren, you guys are the only team that's beaten the Chiefs in the last calendar year. How excruciating is it to come up that close from doing it again?
I mean, it's tough. Losing in any form or fashion is not fun whatsoever, especially like that. But I mean, there's a lot of positives to take from it. There's a lot of negatives. I mean, like any game really is, and we just gotta look at it as a process. In the process, results don't always go the way we want them to, but we're getting ready to have another chance to go back out there and you know, get back on the winning side.
Darren, despite the loss, you and Derek connected on a lot of passes. How are you proud of the performance that he was able to put on despite the loss?
Yeah, I thought Derek played great. He's making a lot of great throws. Probably throws like if you're teaching a young quarterback to make, like, but I mean, he's just like, his confidence is on another level, man. And I love that he's taking chances and taking risks and standing in there and making tough throws. And, you know, I love Derek, and I thought he played great tonight.
There were several series in that game where I don't know that I've seen you guys play better offensively. Did it feel like that out there, like you had an offense that couldn't be stopped?
I mean, yeah, we felt great about our performance, the way that we moved the ball most of the game. You know, credit the Chiefs' offense for that long drive to start the third. But I felt like, you know, throughout the game, we felt like, you know, we had our foot on the gas and we were able to do what we wanted to do. So there's a lot of good that we can take out of it offensively.
And Darren, this is Vic. Two questions for you. How did it feel like with you and Travis Kelce going back and forth? It kind of feel like we were watching him in kind of a heavyweight fight in a sense, and also in a sense that the game will come down to the last, whoever had the ball last?
Yeah, so for the first question, you know, knowing that there's a guy of that caliber at my position over there, you know, it naturally raises your level of play, and you want to go out there and, you know, represent the position because this is a position that's loaded with talent throughout the league. So it was just awesome to, you know, share the field with him. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like both offenses were firing, moving the ball. So, yeah, it was, you know, it came down to get a stop, and I thought the defense did a good job of getting their stop in the third quarter. So, but, yeah, it was just great, a lot of good offensive football both ways tonight.
Derek made mention about the range of emotions, scoring that last touchdown, coming off the field, you're all excited, but then you turn around, you're having to watch the reigning Super Bowl MVP drive that offense down. When you're hype on the sidelines and you got to try to keep it even keeled and then they drive down, it's hard to maybe regenerate that motivation and get back out there with 20-something seconds left. I mean, you're going like this with the emotions, and you're up and you're down, and then you have to play.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's hard to stay centered. Great teams and great players are able to stay centered, and it's like when you do score, it's like, of course, there's jubilation because you worked hard on that drive, but at the same time, you know that anything is still possible in the game, especially even like when Kansas City scored that touchdown. It's anything is still possible. We can still win this game. You saw footage of that last weekend, so it's just, you know, not letting those ups and downs of the roller coaster not get you too out of whack and just trying to find some equanimity.
All good? All right. Thank you, Darren.
Appreciate it.